Welcome to another episode of Mom's Tea Talk. Today we're going to be talking about bonding with our children. And I have my friends here, Nermeen and Soha.
Hi, Dina.
Hi.
Thanks for having us today.
Absolutely. So I was thinking about bonding with my kids, and I realized that it's one thing that changes every year. As they grow, this is something that I have to learn to continue to do differently. So I was wondering if you guys feel the same way. I know we have like a lot of different ages between us. So what do you guys think? How did you find bonding with your kids as they grow?
It's definitely a continuous process. So it's not something, oh, I got this, I did it yesterday, I'm good to go, today I'm gonna rest. No, it's something that you always have to look for and kind of figure out what would work with your child and with this time, right? As they grow, they want more things and they want to bond in a different way. When they're kids, their bonding time is just to play a game and have some, fun time. They of course have to, and they have to win, of course, in the game. If you lose, oh my gosh, that's gonna be so. And as they grow, the bonding time differs. It's more of just spending time together, listening to each other, maybe doing something that they enjoy. And sometimes we just do nothing, and that to them is also a bonding time.
Yeah, and that's another thing that I was thinking about bonding is, I think from what I've read about bonding, it's one of the most important things that we can give our children is ourselves, right? But it's also free.
Yeah.
And sometimes we overcomplicate it. We think it's hard, or
you have to take them to Disney, or you have to go on a trip,
make
or
memories.
Vacation. Yeah.
We put all this pressure on ourselves to make it look a certain way when that's not even what they want. They want simpler things. They just want
you.
Yes,
you. Yeah.
Exactly.
You could go to the park and throw a ball or kick a ball around, and that's bonding time for them.
Our favorite thing is cuddling. Like
yes.
we used to do that all the time. I mean, now I have like various ages, but with my little one, thank God, it's still happening. The cuddling time is one of his favorites. It's one of my favorite too. Yeah. Just today I woke him up and I found him surrounded by his stuffed toys. I jumped in the bed. I did not lose the chance.
Sweet.
This
that's
is it.
So cute.
But if I do that with my teenage girl or boy, I'll be kicked out. So it's not gonna happen. But bonding time is something I think very special. And honestly, like you said, it's free. That they just want your attention. They just want you. So as long as you give them that and you prepare for it in a way that you genuinely there for them, they see it and they feel it and they appreciate it.
Yeah. And actually one thing that Soha said was she jumped in the bed with her son. Like, they like to be surprised. What? Mom did that?
And she was acting like a kid. You know, like kids do that, and that's so fun.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
neat.
When they I surprised my daughter once when she was younger. I think she was very stressed with the idea of like me having another baby, and now she feels like she's not getting the attention. And I remember I took her out of school without telling her. I took her to a water park.
That's awesome.
And she still talks about it. It's been like
Oh my God.
4 years.
I love
Remember that day you took me out of school and you took a day off work, and it means so much to them that, that was not free, but it was fun.
Yeah. So for sure, the one-on-one bonding is totally different than we do a family outing or going out for a trip or a dinner or something. That should not be considered the bonding that they want, right? Because we have to find a common ground where we all gonna go. Not all of us gonna be happy with that, but at least we're doing it as a family. We're trying. But the one-on-one, that's what breaks the ground, right?
Yes.
That's always a home run.
Right.
And that's, I think, is a challenge sometimes with the whole, busyness of our time, that you're trying to dedicate that one-on-one outing with each child, right?
So I have 4 girls, 2 in middle school and 2 elementary school age. Wow. And the
God
ones
bless
in,
you.
I need a lot of prayers. And the ones in middle school, I just remember just a few months ago coming home and always finding myself saying, you didn't do your chores, you didn't do the dishes, you didn't take out the trash, you didn't do this, this is too short, that's too, and I'm constantly, like reprimanding them for something. And I was telling a friend of mine, I just feel like I'm always like nagging them to do something. And she told me, Nermeen, rules without relationship leads to rebellion.
Yep. What's it called? Connection before
correction.
Correction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Connection before correction.
And that really spoke to me. And I realized like my relationship with these girls and these kids was constantly like, do this, do this, do this. So I decided, I was like, okay, something has to change. And usually when something has to change, it has to start with us as the moms. And so I decided to dedicate every Wednesday. Wednesday's the only night we have in the whole week where we don't have a planned activity. There's no soccer, there's no karate or anything. And so every Wednesday I told them once a week I'm going to take them one at a time and do an event with them.
That's amazing.
So, and I figured out like what they like to do, and I talked to them, and then we chose together. So the first week I took, my daughter she likes fancy restaurants. We went and ate a fancy meal at a fancy restaurant.
I know which daughter that is.
And then we went,
Sushi,
to the bookstore after that. And then the other daughter, we did the escape room because she likes activities. And then the other one wanted to cuddle, and so we found this place called Cats and Caffeine, and we just snuggled with little kittens. So like you can choose the activity based on the child.
Right.
And then the other one wanted to go shopping, so we did a shopping spree.
Yeah.
So, but they all, I think, really enjoyed it, and it was good for me to have that bonding time with them, because otherwise my attention's divided among 4 every night. It's too much.
And I think like to keep it consistent, maybe one time it's this exciting place we go, and then the next time it's just at home time.
Yeah. I mean, it got expensive. I'm not gonna lie. So I said, but I wanted the first time to be something really exciting and special and fun. And then after that, it can be just riding bikes around the neighborhood or going to the park and practicing. 2 of them are in varsity basketball, practicing basketball with them at the park or whatever.
And I know, like we were talking about active listening. Like that would be a perfect opportunity to practice active listening.
Right.
When there's no one there to distract
No other
you from it.
distractions.
That's it. Yeah, because it's like almost all of it interrelate to each other, right? The language of love with the bonding, with active listening. It's kind of a consistent, tasks that we have to do on a daily basis. So it's not something, I was good. I listened to her yesterday. Today, I'm just going to ignore her.
Yeah.
So it's not, it doesn't work like that.
And we have to remember to put the phones away, because I'm really terrible with that. Like I'll be spending time with them, but then I'll get a buzz, and then I'll check my phone, and they pay attention to that. They
do.
know when you're on your phone or when you're not
Yeah.
fully invested.
Yeah, we need to model, like if we don't want them
To do
that, we need to
Right.
model it. If they feel bonded to their parents, they're gonna turn out like us. You know what I mean? They're not gonna be lost in the world. I mean,
To be better.
yeah, but at least, you know what I mean. But yeah, no, that's definitely, it's definitely very important. I work as a school teacher, and so in the morning when the kids come in, I could see who's had a rough morning with their parents and who's had a good day just when they come in, and so it shows how important we are to them, even though they'll never sit and say, "Mom, you're so important to me." It's never gonna happen, but it's true.
The
atmosphere.
you can see on them physically.
Yep.
You can see it in their face and their eyes
Yep.
and the way they carry themselves.
And they feel you. They feel if you've had a bad day. They just, even without talking, they know, Mom,
Yeah.
are you okay?
Yeah.
Mom,
If you're stressed,
Yeah.
they can tell when you're stressed.
So bonding doesn't always have to be happy, and you can definitely bond over, hardship or during tribulation or during stressful time. It's important. It's the reality of life. We cannot paint the beautiful rainbow all the time to our kids, and then they grow up and go outside in the world, and they're like,
Unequipped.
what is this?
Right.
This
They
is
need to
not
see.
what I thought. I thought all good news inside my house, and then when I go outside, it's like terrible.
right.
So and I really appreciate when I see parents involving their kids, even like they bring them to a funeral or they talk to them about hardship. It's okay to have them involved. This is also bonding time, because they want to see that, they want to be part of it, right? They don't want to be isolated from our problems, our issues, So I think it's a very important thing, if a family is going through something, to have that open discussion with them, and not feel, my kids will not understand.
Actually, they'll feel like you look at them as mature. And
As long as we don't burden them. Like, we don't have to burden them, but at the
Yeah.
same time, we can share how we're feeling.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
So I think that's important too.
actually, one thing that I was thinking of when I was preparing this topic, I was talking to my daughter. I'm like, when do you feel like we bond all right. And then I'm like, well, when do you feel like you're not close to me? And she said, well, when you nitpick or criticize or yell or fight with me. And then I started telling her, we kind of started talking about like why that happens. And I explained like, you know, I'm stressed because I want to see you, you know, as you grow, I want to see you like making good decisions, and stresses me out. And so that was a bonding experience, talking about why, you know, sometimes sometimes we're not perfect, why mom is not perfect, and you know, the things that worry us. And then she tells me, no, don't worry, I know right from wrong. So it's talking with them and listening is definitely a big part of bonding. So another question I had was for Soha, because I know you have a college student, and she's got her own schedule and her own car. And how does that work once you get to that point?
Well, I miss her a lot, even though she's home, but I don't see her. It's definitely different dynamic right now. So the way we bond, definitely not like how it was even a few months ago when she was in high school.
Wow.
Bonding time is now a really important, treasuring those an hour or few hours that I have with her, to just listen to her, to see what's going on, to be reconnecting with the whole day. Because yes, I haven't seen her, you know, for the past 8 hours, but I'm still here. And in between, we always, you know, phone or message each other, so that I'm not like totally, you know, out of the picture. I should not be out of the picture. I'm always there. But we try to figure out things to do together. You know, like the other day, she was like, Mom, do you want to do a massage? And we've never ever done a massage. She's never done it. I didn't do it for 20 years. So I'm like, do you want to do it? And I was like, yeah, let's go. And it was such a fun time together.
That's so awesome.
It was more like I was going with my friend than my daughter. Now also she is a servant. So I was telling her, I was dreaming of the day then when we were in the meeting, one day you will sit beside me in the servants meeting. And it just happened. And, you know, and I was like so proud of her. So that now we serve also together, not in the same class, but we do a play together. And it's beautiful to see her grow and shine. And you're always in the back, you know, pictures showing that, oh my gosh, this is what all of the years of, you know, trying to bond with them, trying to figure out who they are now, you know, figuring out their own personality, and they're living it. And no matter how old they will grow, they still want to come back and talk to you and listen and ask you for your opinion. Even if they say, Mom, I'm 18 now, I know it, they don't mean it. You know, it's something that you just swallow your pride and know that they don't mean it. You know, every one of us had those situations where even when they were little, Mom, I hate you. Mom, I don't want to be here. Mom, like worst. You're not, you know, you're the worst mom ever. Like every mom went through that, and every mom crawled under the carpet, crying her eye out, what did I do wrong? But it's that continuous bonding that we do with our kids, our initiative to always be there for them and to spend that time with them. They always tell you kids feel everything, and it's so true. They know if you're faking it or just acting or you're just pretending that you are listening to them. They know, they can tell.
But I think it's important too, from what you said, that to bond with our children when our children are young, first of all, bonding takes intentionality. And when your kids are young, the intention has to come from you, because you're in charge, you're in control of your kids' schedule. So you get to decide when you're going to bond with them. But when they're in college age, now it has to come intentionality from both sides. So now not only do you have to carve out time, but she has to carve out time for you as well.
And you start with having those basics, right? When they're little, of showing that you want to be there, you're always there, and how to you know, spend that time together. And now, yes, our bonding time is not as frequent, but it is such an important, and we both treasure it really, really, even if it's just a few minutes at the end of the day. How is your day? How are things? You know, and just listening, and while she's talking about her schedule of stress, that she's first year in college, That's okay. I don't have to interrupt, and I don't have to say, oh, but do you know that you're supposed to do this? Or do you know that you didn't call me today? No, let her do her thing. This is their time to grow, and we're always there for them, and they know it.
And you can develop kind of like a routine, you know, like at the end of, like my husband always, at the end of the evening around like 9:30, 10 o'clock, he'll go downstairs for a snack. And then that's his time with my oldest, that she'll come out and they'll have their little like, you know, 10, 15 minute discussion time over like a snack before
love
bedtime. And they've kind of just naturally developed this routine that I noticed.
Yeah,
so,
you're right. So the bonding doesn't have to be an event.
Right.
Okay, we are going out
Right.
now
Yeah.
and putting that stress on both of you.
right.
Yeah, actually, I was going to mention that like kids thrive on routines. And when it comes to like the bonding at home, it's like rituals, like family traditions. They love these things. And like some things that you do, like for example, when my little one was born, my oldest was kind of jealous. She doesn't get to sleep next to us anymore because the baby's next to us all the time. So we said, all right, you get Friday night. And she's 10 years old now, and she was sleeping next to us on Friday night. It's like these traditions that they like to keep up, you know. Other traditions are so simple, like we'll watch a movie on Friday nights.
Yeah.
Or we'll, you know, we'll
Pizza
eat
night,
pizza
taco
on,
night,
exactly,
right.
And it means so much to them. And you hear them talking to their friends about it, like this is what we do in our house, because it means so much to them. And, you know, we just need to keep it up and not like let being practical or being strict kind of ruin these traditions for us. Like another thing was they always want to talk to you after bedtime.
Yes. Yes.
And
that's
so-
when they have so much information to share about their
exactly.
day.
And at first I was like, no, you have to go to bed early because I have work. And then I was like, who cares? You know, let's wake up a little bit tired, but
Yeah.
I need to hear what my daughter has
Yeah.
to say.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something that we like. I think they like it when we bend the rules a little bit for them.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially like, you know, like you're saying, just to have that fun night without planning anything.
Yes.
And it's funny when one time we were playing shape, and I was teaching my kids how to play shape, and that there's like not a punishment, but there's like whoever has the shape has to do whatever we ask.
You're in trouble.
Yeah, and so and then they see mom and dad doing like, you know, the silly punishment that we have
Yes,
to do,
the
and the
dare.
kids had asked us. Yeah,
Yes.
the dare. Thank you. So it's nice to get out of that mommy
zone, yeah, the
role
mom,
or daddy role,
yeah.
and
Be silly, like
be
jump
silly,
in the, hop in the bed.
Have fun with them.
Yes. So we started off with being silly, and we're going to end it on that note.
Love it.
Be silly with your kids, have fun with them, and you know that's all that you need to do, and it can be free. Thank you guys so much. This was so insightful. I appreciate it.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everyone. I
having
hope you enjoyed our little discussion about bonding with your kids, and we'll see you in another episode.
Bye.
Bye.